Thanks for joining me. I wanted to quickly review my barbecue guru DigiQ that I recently got in the mail. I've used actually the party Q for about 2 years, and I decided to upgrade. I'm gonna do a pork butt today, actually 2 pork butts. Gonna do a little practice for competition here in a few weeks. And let me show you what's inside the box. Pull it out here in front of you. So the adapter comes in this for plugging in. It's pretty interesting. I like this because it really makes it a tight fit. Put the 2 pins in there, and you kind of hand tighten it right here. You're gonna plug that in. My buddy actually has this, and he uses a large battery in case he wants to operate it without plugging it in, which is pretty handy. You're also going to get the barbecue guru Pit Viper. Very strong fan, definitely adequate. I use a Weber Smoky Mountain, and I have the adapter already, so I actually opted to get the gooseneck mount for the guru itself to attach to, and I'm gonna see how that goes. I'm gonna get it a little higher next to my lid so I can see what's going on. So here's a baggy pouch that it comes with when you put all your accessories away. You do get an ambient probe with a gator clip, and then you're gonna get a meat or product probe here as well that you can plug into the guru. I'm not going to use that because I use Fireboard, which is an awesome system. I don't know if you can see it over here, but it's all Wi-Fi capable. It goes to my phone, and I'm going to be running 3 meat probes. This thing is awesome, guys. I'll probably do a separate review on this in a later time, but I am going to show you the cook, see how everything turns out, and then again, let me show you one more thing. So here's the box that the actual guru comes in. I'm going to open it up. A couple of these items already opened up, so put that off to the side. Again, very nice packaging. It came very quickly from Barbecue Guru. And again, I mentioned that they gave me the gooseneck because I already had the Weber adapter, so I had them swap out for the gooseneck. It's almost the same price, so I think I had to pay $1 extra in shipping, so I was like, absolutely. So here's what it looks like. I got the black. Here's the mounts on the back, and we'll do setup here in just a minute. Okay, so I started the fire, did the minion method. We're gonna go ahead and put 1 lump of peach on, get her started. I'm gonna put everything on top. I'm gonna add a little water. Here we go. Now that we've got the fire going, I'm gonna set up the barbecue DigiQ, and we've got the Pit Viper. I've already got the WSM adapter already installed, and a pre-existing party Q that I had. So all the way out is fully open, all the way down is fully closed. I'm gonna go ahead and ride it fully open, nice and snug fit, which is great. And I need to plug it in, which I already have. Here's my barbecue guru, the DigiQ. I'm gonna set it up a little higher so I can see my temp. Okay, I've got my lower rack set, 1 gallon of water in there. I got my probe in the smallest beef rib. Now I'm gonna add the top rack, and gonna add the pork butts. Okay, got the pork butts on, probes in the money muscles. We are going already at about, get dropped quite a bit. It was almost at 250, so there's the ribs below. Everything's looking good. I'm going to close the lid up, get this back up to temp. Okay, we're about 3 hours into the smoke. Doing fairly well. It's held steady very well. I did have to open up my dampers on the bottom about 25% in order for it to hit 275 degrees. If I had them fully closed and I had the BBQ Guru fan or blower open full throttle, it was only hitting about 252 degrees. Again, there's a lot of humidity today. It's 100% humidity. It was misting this morning when I began. It's about 59 degrees. So, and then I use about 1 gallon worth of water inside of the WSM. So it's having a little bit of trouble, but 25%, and got it set up. So hi Isaac. Can you say hi?
Hi.
All right, we're done. I'm gonna spritz here in a few minutes. So I just pulled the beef ribs. They're looking fantastic. Getting ready to wrap these. I think they were 169 degrees, but I don't really matter to me about. I'm looking for that bark, and that looks fantastic. So I'm just gonna squirt a little bit of apple juice in there, maybe do a little bit more salt and pepper, and throw them back on till they get nice and tender. All right. Pulled the first money muscle out, or pork butt. Looking really good right there. Gosh. Excellent. 167, but again, I'm looking for the color right there. That's perfect for me. Excellent. So I'm going to take the other one, we're going to wrap everything, put everything back on. Okay, so I wanted to spend a moment to talk a little bit about the unit in between the cook. Like I stated earlier, I've been using the BBQ Guru Party for almost 2 years, a little over 2 years. Then decided to go with the DX2. Overall, very pleased. A couple of things I really enjoyed about it was its ability to stay on target. And not to say that the Party Q didn't, but this seemed to be way more consistent. And it really didn't leave that, except for when I opened the lid. And then there was a couple times where you flashed over and you saw a little higher. But that was after I closed the lid, and then it stoked it, had some overshooting, which is going to happen, or can happen. So a couple of real quick features that I think it's important reviewing, just so you can understand the features of this model and why you might consider it. There was a couple of things that I liked about it. Which one is the open lid detection, and that's automatically on when you purchase the unit. That's going to be automatically on, so it's going to detect. So when there's a large dip or drop in your pit temp, and then when it senses that it's being a bit more stable, the pit fan will not go constantly on until it hits the temperature that you set, which is pretty ingenious to reduce kind of the overshot in temperatures. And like I stated earlier, when I opened the lid up, it really lost a lot of heat. But then when I closed it, probably within 90 seconds, it got back to within, I don't know, 25, 35 degrees of where it should have been at 275. So, and then within, gosh, I would say 4 minutes, definitely less than 5, it would be back at its set point at 275. So, there's a couple other features I wanted to briefly talk about. There's an alarm deviation. There's a high and a low that you can set within 30 degrees of a high point and a low point. So an alarm will go off if it gets too high and if it gets too low. It's kind of ingenious how it's set up. So you could set something up to where you had an alarm so you could hear it. There are a couple of other modes or alarms that I won't go into. I will go into the ramp mode, which I did not try and have not tried yet, but it's pretty ingenious. Essentially, it's not ramping up is what I assumed. Essentially, it's ramping down your pit temperature. So basically, you would need to enable that feature in the DigiQ. you would have to use your food probe as well, because it uses that in the software to determine. It's my understanding that when you're about 30 degrees from hitting your food temperature, the pit temperature will then ramp down or decrease to just above, maybe 10-15 degrees above where you set your food temperature to be, and then it can hold in that pattern so you can keep your food on there longer if you're waiting for guests to arrive, or maybe if you're in a competition, it's going to allow you to keep that meat on there without overcooking or drying out. So kind of a cool feature if you want to consider that. I do plan on trying that out very soon, but I just kind of went full throttle and wanted to see what the kind of the standard settings yielded. So my final thought or discussion was for the Pit Viper fan. I left the pit fan all the way open because that's how I used to do it with the Party Q, and I didn't really have a reference point to go for. I did end up reading that for smaller bullets, smaller size, you want to go to about third to half. For medium-sized smokers or vertical smokers, you go to half, and it's recommended for large, either side-by-sides or just large units. You want to go fully open, 100% open with the blower damper. So I went 100% open, and I ended up having to open up my vents about 25% in order to hit 275, which is interesting. I'll probably keep it like that. Every unit and every smoker is going to be different. So just something that I noticed, and something for you maybe to experiment, and I'm sure you'll lock it in however you wish to do it. But overall, very pleased with the product. Hope you enjoyed the video. I would have shown you some final product, but all the food got eaten. So thanks for watching.